Today's guest is another fellow Canadian sister. We have known one another for years. We've never actually met, though. But Toronto's pretty small, and we used to run in the same circles. She's an accomplished tattoo artist and model. She's been a lifelong wrestling fan with the aspirations of breaking through as a valet. But she's just not any wrestling fan. And she doesn't want to just be any kind of valet. She wants to be a valet for deathmatch wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, my girl, Tara Zep. Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I was very shocked that you reached out, not gonna lie.
Well, I gotta say, like, Toronto, well, I don't have to tell this to you, but, like, Toronto is a pretty small world, and I've never met you, but I feel like I know a lot of people who know you. Yeah. And I followed your modeling career, and you have produced some of my favorite photos, especially when you were working with Matt Barnes when he was at the peak of his career. And
totally.
How did you get into? Okay, wait. We'll start at the beginning. Where are you from originally?
I'm from a town a couple hours north of Toronto, Innisfil. I'm sure you know it. Yep. It's like Barrie area, cottage country.
Yep. Completely unaffordable now.
Totally. Yeah. It's really crazy now. Driving up there, it's like so many houses and all the farmland is like sold out. It's crazy.
Yeah, especially with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Everyone
it's
is
pretty
trying
sad,
to get...
actually.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You can't buy property unless you go. I don't even know where you go anymore because it used to be Hamilton, and now I don't even think that's affordable.
Everyone lives in Hamilton now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to move to Hamilton, actually.
Were you?
Yeah. Toronto's so expensive, and like, what's the point, you know? Especially with the pandemic. It's like anything remotely cool that is left in Toronto, you can't go to. And like, there's not really that much left. All the cool venues from back in the day. Like, I only moved there maybe 13 years ago, but even then, like, I remember like the Big Bop and the Reverb, but those two shut down shortly after I moved there. So I don't know. Toronto is
It's not what it used to be.
I feel like Hamilton's kind of cooler, actually. I feel like. Are you paused?
I agree.
I think we're paused. Yeah.
Yep, there we go. We're back.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think, you know, like people that are artists and people who are a little bit more edgy, you know, they're not hot. They're not fucking shirts on Bay Street, so they can't afford.
No, exactly, yeah.
And now you're on the West Coast.
I am, yeah. I moved here about 5 months into lockdown.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe even less than that. I think it was like 4 months into lockdown. I'm like, okay, I've had it.
Oh, shit.
So I was working on moving to New York for years before COVID hit. And I actually was just finalizing my visa. I had an apartment. I had a shop to work at in Brooklyn. No. And literally it was like, COVID hit. All my plans out the window. So I was like, well, that's unfortunate. Back to the old drawing board. So I kind of just like the only other place I've lived everywhere in Canada that's, you know, that is livable and workable. So like, you know, Montreal, obviously Toronto, outskirts of both those regions. And I had never lived out here, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It's beautiful, obviously. And also they were only locked down for like 2 months.
That's true. They had a completely different regime.
Yeah. So I moved here in July, I think, of 2020, and I was working within days. So I was
That's
like,
amazing.
hell yeah. And I was busy as fuck because people are coming from, you know, all over pretty much. Even like people, like Alberta was locked down. So people would drive to Vancouver from Alberta to get tattooed. And I was just like killing it. So I definitely dodged a bullet by leaving. Yeah, big time. So, yay.
So what do you think? Do you think you're going to stay out there? Do you think you're going to move forward with your Brooklyn plans?
You know what? I don't think I'm going to move to New York anymore. I think that pipe dream's kind of left, and I'm not really like I've lived there on and off for years, so
Okay.
I kind of got my fill. It's a crazy place to be, you know, like, especially so I'm so high energy, and like I have the worst FOMO of all time. And if you're that kind of person living in New York, you don't sleep.
Right.
So I was out all the time. There's always a show. There's always something happening. And of course I was tattooing too, so that takes
Right.
up so much time. So I think like having this like complete opposite lifestyle, I've really, really fallen in love with this new
That's
kind of
good.
chill, like a lot of alone time, a lot of self-reflection time, a lot of hiking time, like nature. It's just mental health wise way better.
Yeah.
So I think I might stay, but who knows? I mean, I also want to like spend more time in the States because all the things I like to do happen to be in the States. So
Right.
especially like wrestling stuff, the wrestling that I like to go watch is not here. So
Okay.
there's that too. So
So let's talk about your love of wrestling. You are a die-hard wrestling fan. When did
I
that start
am.
for you?
Definitely when I was a kid, 8 years old, the Attitude Era, everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
I was die hard. Loved China, wrote her all the time, never got a letter back.
Oh my god.
I know, it kind of ruined a lot, like it kind of pissed me off a bit. I loved The Undertaker. I used to draw a teardrop under my eye in school and go to school like that, and like wore my hair like this, and like got made fun of a lot, but I didn't care. Just loved it so much. And yeah, I don't know. I guess you get older and you're like, people start to like, I don't know. It's just like a funny, when you grow up in a small town too, like there's not as many nerds and weirdos and like introverts, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
But like I found like, okay, if I continue being into all these things that I like, I'm never going to have friends. I'm never going to get a boyfriend. So I kind of like, I know it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
But we do
So
it when we're kids.
Yeah, and now I am 8-year-old Tara again.
Yeah.
Like, I am that person 100%. Like, that person's always been in me for sure.
And aren't you at your most happy now?
Yes, exactly, yeah. Exactly, yeah. I feel like I can totally be myself, and it's fine, and I don't really care if it's not fine, but
It's what you are and it's who you're going to be.
yeah, totally. So yeah, I was into that, and then kind of, I guess, you know, put it to the side for a long time, and then as like I guess when I was watching it, it wasn't even WWE yet, and I was super into WWF.
Right.
Mostly, more so than any other promotion. I wasn't really into WCW or anything like that. I was just diehard WWF. And then, yeah, it became WWE, and like things changed quite a bit, and I didn't really like the vibe. I didn't really like what they were doing with women's wrestling. And yeah, it just like, it kind of, you know, and then of course you find out it's fake.
No.
Yeah, that it's like, yeah, like when you find out Santa's fake, it's just like, wait, what?
I know, your whole world implodes and you're like, oh God.
Well, yeah, I'm out. So, yeah, so I took a break, and then, you know, always dabbled in it because I love it, and mostly got into like indie promotions.
Okay.
And then something happened. I discovered deathmatch wrestling.
Yep.
And deathmatch wrestling changed my whole perspective on everything, and I found myself racing home from work to watch deathmatch. Like, waking up in the morning watching it, especially during the lockdown. Like, I was glued to it, studying it, obsessing over it, wanting to be a part of it. Like, maybe not necessarily getting hurt or like wrestling, but just like wanting to be in it so badly. Like, nothing has ever made me feel more just the adrenaline and like the excitement, and like I'm so understimulated, I feel like, all the time, and it's like the only thing that I'm like, yes, you know, like I'm so into this. And I even found it was like incredible for my mental health. Like I was going through a lot of things when I moved here. One of my best friends passed away, and then shortly after my dog died.
I'm so
tragically.
sorry.
Yeah, and like I was just like watched even more of that stuff, like hardcore wrestling and deathmatch stuff, and I just found it to be so like therapeutic.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people actually find that as well. But, yeah, I didn't know a single other soul on the planet that liked that stuff, too. So I kind of kept it to myself for a while. And then I ended up actually meeting, like, a little crew of people here in Vancouver that also like us. So we get together and, like, have our, like, GCW nights and stuff where we
That's
get some
amazing.
pay-per-view or whatever, yeah. Yeah, so that's also, yeah, it's brought some, like, new other kind of, like, introvert kind of weirdo people in my life that like we're totally on the same page, and it's been good. Yeah, it's like brought some good people in my life.
You gave me goosebumps. I literally feel like I should verbally say like I'm passing the baton to you, girlfriend, because that means you've officially made it into the wrestling world. Like we're all misfits, we're all introverts. There's nowhere we fit in other than the wrestling world. It makes no sense. But for so many of us, wrestling has literally saved our lives. For me, it's saved my life at least twice now.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's welcome. I'm so glad you're in this circle now.
Yeah.
Now, are you hoping to break through and valet or?
I am, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I've just been doing all I can without being obnoxious or pushy. I have some friends who wrestle, and I've talked to some people, and I'm doing all I can, and hopefully that someone will help me out. I don't want to say too much.
For sure.
I definitely.
So are we talking about TV promotion wrestlers?
Yeah. So yeah, I hope it works out. I've had some conversations with a few people, and some people are willing to work with me. So
cool.
It's just a matter of getting down there and hanging out and talking about it, and like getting to know each other a bit more and stuff.
For sure.
I wish to God I could just freely go in and out of the States for this stuff. 'Cause the promotion's in New Jersey, so it's a little bit of a pain, but like, there's always a way to do this stuff. And also I was working on a visa before, and I had no issue getting it at that point. So I'm sure, just get it done, just do it, right? So
just get it done, do it. Follow your path.
Do it. Just
follow
do
your
it.
heart. Yeah.
That's my motto now these days. As I get older, I'm like, there are a bazillion things on a list that I've wanted to do.
Yep.
They haven't changed for the last 20 years.
Yep.
I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm not getting any younger.
It's it.
The Botox is working, but not for long.
Thank God for Botox.
Honestly, another lifesaver.
I held off on it because I was afraid, like, because there's the nightmare stories. And then when I went back to TV at 35, and I was sitting in the makeup chair, and like I could just see the makeup going into the lines of my forehead, and I was like, I went home and I was like, full syringe, just the whole thing. I'm due again. Like the pandemic kind of threw me off my schedule, but honestly, like I think
you look great.
Oh, thank you.
Look great. Yeah,
and so do you.
Oh, thanks.
I'm really excited for you, and I know I'm not a deathmatch wrestler. I'm not a hardcore wrestler. But if there's anything I can do in terms of if you ever want to pick my brain or anything like that,
oh hell yeah,
I'm your girl.
I will. Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing, especially with me, that I found through my life. I'm just so bad at reaching out. I had this issue when I was tattooing too. I was just like, it took me so much longer to like get where I needed to be because I'm so like, I don't want to ask that. I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be, you know what I mean? So
I get it.
I've always kind of been like, I'm just going to do it myself. I'll figure it out by myself and it'll work out. But no, it doesn't. Especially, oh my God, like wrestling.
Well,
I've been trying to get into this wrestling school in Vancouver, and like,
Oh.
I've been on a waiting list for like almost a year. And I email them all the time.
What's the school?
If
Actually, you
they're
can tell
listening,
me.
if they're listening. It's Lionsgate Dojo.
I just got off. My last interview was Nicole Matthews. So
Oh, really?
I will call her after this. And I will expedite your process.
That's so funny. They're probably like, that girl, God. Because, yeah, I emailed them a couple days ago, and they're like, we know. And they're like, we know.
Do they not like money?
You're on. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
No.
Willing to pay, though. So, yeah, I just want to learn, like, the ins and outs, and I'm not trying to be a wrestler at this stage of my life. But, you know, maybe I'm going to need to know how to take a pump.
It's better to know than to get thrown into something.
I do jujitsu. I do, like, personal training, like weightlifting and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get strong. I'm trying to get, you know, good at whatever stuff.
That's great, girl. You're putting in the work. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Don't like graze over it. And if I can tell you one thing about professional wrestling, you have to be that girl. You have to be fucking annoying, because there's so many people trying to get in the door. Like, obviously you're a businesswoman. You're an independent contractor. You're a tattoo artist. You know you have to be your own biggest self-advocate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, exactly. Always been an artist. Always been hustling my product.
Right. It's the same shit. And, like, people always want to be like, yeah, later. You know, there's so many people. Just keep pushing. Yeah. Keep being annoying. That is how you get through. It's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, just like the older I get, you know, like the more I've been through, the more you know, the more you experience, the more you're like, okay, yeah, you actually need to be up in people's faces to get their attention sometimes, especially in something like this industry specifically. It's so sacred and so hard to, like, get into. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's harder in Canada. I don't know.
Oh,
I just feel like
it's way harder in Canada.
It's like a different vibe, completely.
It's more protected, I think, because it's less saturated.
So.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So I found it hard here. Yet I've had offers in the States, a club in California, and then in New Jersey as well. So it's just like, okay, if I would just lived there.
Well, I will literally send the message, and I will give my stamp of approval. And if there's any problems, I will call Nicole Matthews myself. Be like, please help out a sister girl.
Aw, that's so nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course.
Cool.
And when you're back in Toronto, let me know, because I would like a Tara Zep tattoo. Obviously, I'll pay for it. But
are you living in Toronto?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
okay, cool.
Born and raised here. I've kind of lived everywhere. Like, when I worked for WWE, I lived in the States for a little bit. My first marriage, my husband was English, so I moved to England for a little bit. Divorced, back home. I've been a Toronto firefighter for about 7 years.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, and married and divorced again here, and now I'm technically in Mississauga. So, but you know what? It's the same shit. Everything that I used to love about Toronto is dead.
It's gone. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Velvet Underground is dead, and like all the independent.
Oh my God, the Velvet Underground. I forgot about that. I love that place. I used to.
That and Sneaky D's are the only two places I ever really went, because I don't like people, but I like. I like where you can blend in and no one even really notices you.
Yeah, it's dark. There's good music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've always thought like, oh, Mississauga, but I'm just like,
I hear that
people that live here are actually from Toronto because they can't afford Toronto
for sure, or they just like want a fucking house or a backyard. You know, you can't. You obviously can't have that in Toronto. That's why I wanted to move to Hamilton's, because I had the dog, and I'm like, I need a freaking yard, man. Like, I'm sick of
Yeah.
this shit.
And I'm right by the lake now. And it's the same thing that most of us have been going through with like the pandemic. I was really forced to look inward and deal with a lot of mental health shit and going through a divorce. I just want to be like near the water, and I want to be able to go for nature walks. And it's been really healing. So
Good. That's awesome.
yeah, but anyways, I'm not going to keep you forever, but I'm really excited for you and your new journey. But I'm going to do my 10 tailor-made questions with you, which is how I end every interview. So the first one is, name a beauty product you cannot live without.
Beauty product. I'm like, I don't even really, other than like getting a lot of Botox. I'm so bad at this. You know what? I don't know. Just like a fucking like vitamin C serum or something.
Yes.
I am so not a single product kind of girl. Like every time I buy anything, I buy something for the first time. Like
I'm with you.
I'm
constantly learning. I'm like, should I have been using this before?
Yeah, I've been getting into Korean products lately, and they're actually awesome. So,
really? I've heard good things about the Korean products.
They're just like kind of like cheaper and like better. I don't know.
Interesting.
Anyways.
Yeah. What's your favorite exercise?
Squats.
Yeah, girl. Get that booty.
Yeah, I'm trying.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Loud talkers.
Yeah. Just like no sense of indoor voice.
Yeah. Don't care. Don't want to hear you. Shut up.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh God. Can it be a wrestler?
Oh my God. Extra points for it being a wrestler. Yes.
Nick Gage.
Really?
I know, it's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know.
What is your favorite band or artist?
Probably Bolt Thrower.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And do you have like a sing in the shower, like guilty indulgence band that you wouldn't want anyone to know about?
Oh, I love Britney Spears, but I don't care who knows it.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Free Britney.
Fucking oh God. Hashtag.
Do you have a secret vice like drinking a glass of wine in the shower?
Oh, secret vice. My vices aren't too secret.
Let it out, girl.
I do like to smoke a big fatty after work.
As you should.
Before bed. I'm trying to lay off the booze.
Yeah,
so,
me too, actually.
Hopefully that won't be a vice at all anymore. But yeah, definitely weed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
It's a plant. It's natural.
Nature's medicine.
Yeah, that's it. What wrestler has the best entrance music?
You know what? I'm going to go Nick Gage again.
Nick Gage.
From Who the Bell Tolls.
Okay.
Metallica. It's the biggest pop of all time.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, I don't know if this is totally applicable to you, but have you had an embarrassing moment at a wrestling show? Because my question is, what's your most embarrassing moment in the ring? But have you had an embarrassing moment at a show?
I mean, this is my problem. I can get pretty fangirly and like literally jump on people and hug them to death and then watch the pay-per-view later and it's just me following men around the ring. And I'm like, oh shit. Maybe chill out a little bit, buddy.
Oh my God.
So maybe that. Nothing too crazy has happened yet, but just like, I'm just like this big, like, shit-eating grin girl, just like in the front of everything. Yeah.
That's
like security guards are like, get out of the way. And I'm like, no.
Okay,
So-
excuse me. Let's be real. I know what a lot of hardcore deathmatch wrestlers look like, and you're stunning. No one's going to be upset about you hanging off them like a fucking spider monkey.
I know. It's just it's just funny. It's just it's funny to see, or like a friend will be like, "Oh, I saw you fucking like little shit, like all up in their stuff." I'm like, what can you
Live
do?
your best life.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Finish this lyric.
Mm-hmm.
My loneliness is killing me.
Hey, yeah. Oh man, should have done a vocal warm up before this.
Me. Yeah, because I'm really leading the parade. Well, where can all our listeners find you on the interwebs?
I'm on Instagram. I have 2 pages. One for my personal wrestling hustle. It's Cowbitch from Hell. And then I have my tattoo account. Just my artwork on there, and it's GUD_vibrations, good vibrations. On
Cool. Well, thank you again.
And I'm on Twitter too, but I don't really use it that much.
Okay.
But yeah, just Tara Zep.
Tara Zep on Twitter. So
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
and Twitter.
Yeah.